much time as possible, I decided to change the name of the channel merely for the fact that we don't just cover Mopar or Dodge related products. We actually cover a wide variety like Subarus, Ford, Mustangs, Chevy Camaros, Chargers, Challengers. We cover pretty much everything on this channel. So I decided to go ahead and change it because I think it would give a false representation about what this channel is. And I want it to be about everything, not just about Dodge cars. So now that the explanation's out of the way, we can get on to the video. Alright everybody, we're back. And it's been quite a while since my last episode, so I apologize for that. But what we have here today is some more products from ZL1 Addons. Now, if you remember the last video, I'm going to try and throw a link up here. I know YouTube's changed their policy, so if I fail to do that, that's why. I'm going to throw a link up to the old video that I did for the wicker bill install. Now, what I have today is going to be the rest of the kit, basically, for the Aero Kit. It's going to be the front splitter and side skirts, as well as the rear bumper section. Took a little bit longer to get here, but that's because I requested it to be cut in the 3/8 inch material instead of the 1/4 inch. So that way it's all the same thickness from front to back, and there's no differences that you can see with the naked eye. So I also removed the addresses from the packages so I can actually show you the unboxings this time. And we are going to go ahead and get started. So first one's first, we're going to do the little package. This is from ZL1 Addons, but I'm not quite sure what's supposed to be in here. It's not very big, whatever it is. Kind of looks like the winglets for the front splitter that possibly go up. Or it could be for the back end. I'm not too sure. I'll have to really take a look at it. What it is two of the exact same piece. So, not too bad. Package is just a simple bubble wrap. It's not nothing spectacular, but once again, these are flexible pieces. So I'm not really worried about anything being broken from shipping. As soon as I figure out what these two specific pieces are for, I'll make sure to let you guys know. So on to the next one, which is one of the big pieces. I have a feeling this one will be the side skirts because it's not so much wide as it is long. It's a little bit longer than the other box and it's a little bit thinner. So I'm going to say it's probably that. Wow, these are heavy. And that's what it looks like. These are, wow, they are bigger than I thought they would be. Holy cow. Tops. So they actually have a mark right here for you as well. When you take them out of the packaging, they're going to be marked top, bottom, and you can see already that they got the removable film, so you don't have to worry about it getting tore up at all. They already got every bolt hole that you need already drilled out for you. They got the relief cuts for the jack points, both front and back. And it's a mirror image of the same thing. So this is going to be our side skirts. I'm going to see if there's anything else in that package though. All the rivets for the hardware. Holy cow. Might have to buy a rivet now. I didn't think about this. Well, there's that. There is something else in here. This looks like it could be the rear. The winglets for the rear bumper. This is probably what these are. Cut exactly the same. They also have the nice film on it, so you don't have to worry about them getting tore up at all during shipping. These I don't think are very flexible. They are not very flexible at all. So these are two of the pieces that you might want to double check and make sure there are any cracks or anything like that in. Not too bad on the edges either. Not too bad. So we'll set those off to the side. what I'm starting to think these are, ignore that, that was my dogs inside playing. So what I'm starting to think these are is going to be for the front splitter. They go up on the fender and actually kind of tie the pieces in together. So make sure nothing else in there. I'm going to move on to the last box. Wow. This is pretty thick material, guys. This is going to be the front splitter. So, for all of you wondering how big these get, they're pretty freaking big. There's not a whole lot to it, technically. I mean, the area that it is, it's wide, that's for sure, and it's definitely, I can see why they would like to do the 1/4 inch on the side skirts and the rear pieces, because this is a lot of material to be putting on your car. However, I just like the look better when it's all the same thickness. Having it be different it'll bring your eye to it more than anything. So this will obviously go on the front bumper. You got your cutouts for my specific car, which is got the same style front bumper as the Hellcat, so it's got the little divots inside of it with the fog lights and everything like that. Once again, it's got this removable film on top, just like every other piece, and there is a lot of holes that we're going to have to try and locate, and no little pieces cut out on the edges, so that's what those are, guys. Let's see if there's anything else in the box. There is. Yep. Mounting hardware for the front splitter. Seems pretty good so far. But it actually looks like these come with riv nuts as well. I wonder if there's any instructions. This. Nope, no instructions, just what this is the order sheet. No instructions in that one. Let's see what we're having in it. So it looks like they just took 2 boxes and kind of cut one to fit over the end like a cap. I see what's over there. And there's no instructions inside, guys, whatsoever. So if you're going to be doing this on your own, it will definitely help to know how they're going together. Possibly a note for the company. I know they're busy putting out a lot of orders and things of that nature, but throwing a simple little booklet of instructions in might help some customers. So, with that being said, I'm going to pull out all this hardware, get it laid out for you guys, and we will go through over the video. Alright everybody, so I brought you in a little bit closer now to kind of show you the hardware that it comes with. So to start off, on our left side over here, we have the riv nut tool that I actually ordered when I got the wicker bill for the wicker bill install video. Now, that tool you can order as well with this kit, but just know that you will need it to get this install done properly. The next 2 items that you're going to see right here are going to be the brackets that come for the front splitter. On the one side that you'll see, you have the actual riv nuts right here. Now this is why you need that tool. When you take it off, this is the actual part that goes on the riv nut gun to get secured in place with that tool. You then will bolt it on just like you normally would with any other bolt and go from there. Just like spacer spacer on it so that way it lines up with the way it needs to be. So next you're going to see a series of nuts of bolts and screws. Now you got 2 bolts with 2 nuts, and you have 8 washers right here. So 8 large washers, 2 small sets of washers. Then you're gonna have 8 screws as well. So from there, what we're gonna do is move over here, and you're gonna see a lot of rivets. Yes, so the back section of this actually comes with these 2 bags, which is the side skirts and the rear sections that you will see right here. And how those get mounted on is gonna be with these rivets. So keep that in mind. I'm gonna need to actually go buy a rivet gun because I do not have one. So, quick trip to the store, and we will be back after that. Now, the last item that you're gonna see here is actually double-sided tape, and you're gonna see a bunch of little bitty screws right here. Come on. So, you're gonna have 6 screws, double-sided tape. Now, the only thing that I can amount that goes to is gonna be these side pieces that go on the fender itself. Now, you're gonna see the 2 main holes here, which will be mounted to the fender itself. But you'll see these 3 right here, these 3 little bitty holes, and that's what I'm assuming that the screws go into, which means somewhere on the back of this large section is going to be 3 little bitty holes, but there is not. So, we will have to possibly drill that out. I'm not too sure. We will see when the time comes. So, I'm gonna run and go get the tool that I need to put the rivets in, and I will be back. All right, everybody, so for this part of the install, I'm gonna bring you underneath the car and show you what it's gonna look like whenever you're trying to do these things. Now, the tools that you're gonna need is going to be a 7mm little wrench. If you got one with a box wrench, that's fine, but I use a 7mm ratchet. And I also used a 12mm and a 10mm. So what I ended up doing is we took out the plastic trays underneath to be able to reveal this bar right here. Now this is the one that you're going to need to get a hold of. It's right underneath your radiator, which is right here. So it's the one right behind it. You're going to notice this rubber strip, and here's where you're going to be drilling and screwing the rib nuts into. So what you're going to notice is there's going to be 5 holes. 1, this one's in it, the middle one, right here, 4, and 5. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be drilling into the second one on both sides. So not the end, but the next one in. So you're going to be drilling into the 2nd and 4th holes. Now you're going to have to gap it out just a little bit to be able to get that rib nut in there, because let me find the other one and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So here's that first bracket I was telling you about, and here's the holes that you're going to be looking for. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So what you'll notice is this is the other bolt out of that other bracket that I was telling you about. Wherever it went off to, because I lost it already. But it's the other bracket just like this. Remember, the kit came with 2 of them. So what you're going to notice is when you try to hold that rib nut up here just to that hole, it's not going to want to go in. So you're going to have to drill it out just a little bit. So what I ended up doing is I got a 3/8 inch drill bit on my drill, and I drilled it all the way through this hole right here, and then I just kind of gapped it out just a little bit more by moving the drill around and kind of gapping it out. I don't want to drill a full 1/2 inch hole, but a 3/8 inch with a little bit walled out will be just fine. So I'm going to get this one done, and I'm going to show you the process of getting that second rib nut in there. Alright everybody, so we're at the point now where we're finished drilling and we're getting ready to install that riv nut that I was just telling you about. So what we're going to do is we have it sitting on the end of our tool here. I'm going to push it up into the hole, and you want it to be tight. You don't want it to be loose because then it won't fit right. So what you're going to do is once you get it really close to getting there, you kind of want to have to press it up and in just like that. So as you can see now, it's sitting up flush with the tool. So what you're going to do is go ahead and squeeze. And you just want to make sure that it's flat across the entire surface when you're doing this right here. You want to make sure that's flat. And just go slow. And then what you'll do is whenever you release the pressure off of it, just go ahead and give it a little wiggle. Make sure it's not gonna move around or anything like that. This one's got just a little bit of play, as you can see, so I'm gonna give it a little bit more of a squeeze. Oh, drop the camera. Now let's try it again. No wiggle. That's what you want to see. So now, as you can see, it is installed and ready. All we got to do is start getting the other pieces lined up, and we'll get back to it. All right, so as you can see, I've got the tray off, the under tray off now, and here's that hole that I was telling you about. But to be able to get the first measurement that we need to go back under the car. So this bracket right here, the measurement that you're going to need is from the center bolt hole to center bolt hole. So when we hold our tape measure up here, you're going to see I have it sitting right in the middle of the bolt on this side, and on this side we're going to measure right to the center of the next hole, which is exactly 3 inches. So on this bracket we have our first measurement, 3 inches. So we'll come back out front of the car, and you're going to see these 2 holes. These 2 holes are where those plastic pop clips came out of, and those 2 holes are the ones on either side of the bracket in the back side. So what you're going to do is you're going to extend your tape measure out. You're going to line it up in the center of this hole. Let me see if I can't hold it a little bit better for you. The center of this hole, and you're going to find the center of this hole. Now when you get that all said and done, I'm going to get it lined back up here for you. Center to center, you're going to have 9 3/8 of an inch. So what that's going to equate to, you got to break 9 3/8 down to half, and what that's going to give you is what that's going to give you is your center line right in here. So 9 3/8 divided by 2 is going to give you 4 11/16, I believe. So what I went ahead and did is when I remove this, you're going to see that little mark right there. Boom. And with that little Sharpie mark, it's really difficult to see on this, but what that little Sharpie mark did is that gave me my halfway point between the 2. So what I went and did then is I extended my tape measure out to the 3 inches from before on that bracket, and I lined it up dead center right here, and then I marked out 3 inches, and when I remove the tape measure you'll be able to see it. And there's my 3-inch hole. That's the end of the bracket right there. So that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to find the center between these 2 holes, and then you're going to have to measure out 3 inches. Now obviously I haven't done it on this side, so that's how I did it. I'm not saying it's the correct way to do it, but that's how I did it. Alright everybody, so what happens now is I'm going to pull up my phone light because my light bar happened to die on me, so I can show you
what's going on as far as the build right now. So you can see I actually have it up and mounted, but it's not completely locked down. So here is what is going on right now. Those two holes that I just showed you how to drill, I went ahead and put the bolts in those just to hold the lip up. Then what I started to do is I put in all the plastic pieces again, all the little pop clips all along the bottom trim of plastic, except for these bolts here. And I also put those ones in over there. I know it's a little hard to see, but my light bar is dead and I really need to get this done because I'm losing daylight. So what I have over here is, you can see the very first bolt put in. I have one of the middle bolts put in, and I have the other side bolt put in. And what you're going to want to do at this point is hop out from under your car, because the holes that they drill are a little bit bigger than what's required. So what you're going to do is you're going to come right here and you're going to look between this point and this point, and you're going to guesstimate about where it's at. And you're going to come over here and you're going to do the same thing. And you just want to make sure that it's lined up. Now obviously there is a more accurate way to do that, and what you need is your tape measure. What you can do is you'll come over here to one side, you'll lock it out, you hold it up to the body, and you'll notice it sticks out 1 inch. So now that you got that measurement, you'll come around to the opposite side and you'll do the same thing. You'll hold it up, and would you look at that, 1 inch right there too. So that means that the lip is centered between left and right of the car, and you're good to go ahead and start putting the other screws in and getting them tightened down, getting the front lip permanently mounted. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to get the rest of them mounted up, and we will be back after that's done.
Alright guys, so the last step for the front lip is going to be this little side piece right here. So what you're going to do is you're going to notice right here there's going to be 2 pop tabs here and here. What you do is you use a nice panel tool like this, and if you don't have any, I'd invest in some for this. This really does help out. Now I've already removed both of the clips, so what I'm going to do now is go ahead and line it up. So you want the angled piece on the inside and the flat edge towards the outside. Take your first pop clip, you're going to push it through right here and just get it lined up. So what you want to do is you want to come back here and you want to make sure this edge is clean, as well as the back plastic piece right here. Once both of those are clean, you're going to take your double-sided sticky tape that they provide in the kit, and you're going to lay it right here and roll it all the way up, pressing firmly so that it sticks to the panel. And you take a knife and cut off the excess. Just like that. So what you can do from here is you'll grab your second pop clip, get it ready, push it through the first hole, and then push it through the stock location. Alright, so once you get both of them pop tabs in, what you're going to do is you're going to peel the top back a little bit, and you're going to grab the other side of that double-sided sticky tape, peel it back, just like so. You're going to work from your bottom all the way up to the top. You're going to hold it for a decent amount of time, so that way it holds that shape right there. Okay everybody, so for the final step on this process, what you're going to notice is on these side pieces there was 3 little holes in the bottom. So what I actually had to do to get them to work is you take the 3 little screws that are in the bag. Now I've obviously already done the other side, so there's only 3 left. And what you do is you take the smallest drill bit you have. I have a 1/16 drill bit. And what I did was held it up flush along the bottom, and I drilled straight in just a little ways, just enough for them teeth on that screw to grab. Okay, you're going to take your Phillips head screwdriver, your smallest one, one of your smallest screwdrivers. Grab the screw, hold it up one more time, and get that screw put in place. Now you can do this with the wheels on, but you're gonna have to do like I did and turn them all the way to one side or the other. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna do that 2 more times on the other 2 holes, and that's it for your front lip. The front lip is then complete. So that'll conclude this little section of video. I'm gonna take a break before I do the side skirts, which I will probably do tomorrow when there's more light. And that's it for now, guys. I will be back once I'm done. Have a good one. Okay, for everybody who is made it this far in the video, just know that I actually decided to do it tonight. I didn't wait till tomorrow morning. I couldn't wait. It was too exciting. So I have the first side done. Now that I've done it and I kind of know what I'm supposed to be doing, I'm gonna go ahead and bring you guys along for the second one. Wow, I was way off camera. My apologies. Let me just fix this real quick. My absolute disaster of a garage. So what I've got so far, I just got this side jacked up. And no, you do not need to jack your car up this high. The only reason I'm doing so is to make it a little bit easier for the camera so I can show you guys kind of my take on how this is going together. So I got my drill ready, and the drill bit that I'm using for the size rivets that I have is currently a 7/32. What I noticed is when I held the rivets up to the drill bit, that gave it the perfect amount to slide through without giving it so much slack that it's wobbly. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna leave the film on for the first part of it. And now if you're doing this by yourself like me, this is gonna be tricky. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of sucks actually. But you're gonna get that first part lined up with the edge of the fender right here. The very front of the skirt by your front fender is where you're gonna get your first line off of. Then you're gonna scoot it over to where it lines up perfectly with the rest of the car. Now what I'm doing is I'm using my right leg, since that's the one that's not injured, to hold up the bottom side of it, and I'm looking down the length of the car this way to see that yes, it's actually in line, everything looks good. So now that we have that, we're gonna double check one more time, and it will move around on you just a little bit, but you just want to get that first drill in place. Let's check it again. If you check it, guys, you ain't gonna have issues. If you don't check it, that's when you're gonna run into issues because it's not gonna sit right. So we got our first one ready to go. First hole already drilled. That simple. So what you're gonna do now, take a breather because my leg is ridiculously weak. Get your rivet tool, get your rivets, and get them ready. That way you can start and go ahead and peel off the first little bit. Now you only want to peel, the way I'm doing it, I only peel it back a few feet at a time. That way the bottom's still protected, but the top up here I don't have to worry about it pinching the plastic sheet in between the body of the car and the side skirt. So for this part, all you have to do is go ahead and line it up. You don't have to worry about angles or anything right now. You just want to get everything in line. Just like so. Now you'll want to line it up just a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect yet, because this is just your first one. It can still rotate on that point. So go ahead and get the first rivet in. Okay. So if this happens as well, don't worry about it. We'll take care of that towards the end. I'll show you how to get rid of that. So now what you'll do, since you got the one in the middle already done, you're going to line it up one more time. You're going to check your work, run your eye down the bottom line of the car, make sure everything's lining up. And now that you have both your hands free, you can get the next one up.
still sucks. So, you have your second hole drilled. Once again, get your riv nut gun ready, or your riv gun ready. Go ahead and get that one in. And it's just rinse and repeat at this point, guys.
Flew up through the clouds at night, was born to fight. Mythical, so mystical, think what you like. You could be the sword, the shield, defender of the people down below. You know I fought for love. You know I fought for love. You know I fought for love. Be kind to those around you, don't be merciless. Remember me, for my name is Perseus.
Okay everybody, so now that the car is done and the install is completed, don't mind the dogs in the background, but the simplicity of this project, I'd say it's probably a 2 out of 5. If you've ever done one of these kits before, it's relatively simple once you get the hang of it. Keep in mind the manufacturer, I do believe they could improve it with throwing in a set of instructions. I think that would help out a lot. Especially for the people who haven't done something like this before, aren't ready to drill into their cars. They would probably like to know that from the beginning. I'm pretty used to it by now, so the quality of the products that they give you is actually really good, especially for the price point, which we'll go over in a little while. All you have, if you wanted the thicker side skirts and rear winglets, all you have to do is request it and they can get that to you. Now keep in mind it will take just a little bit longer because they do wait for extra material to come in, so if you decide to go with the 1/4 inch, it'll get to you pretty quickly. Now as for the price point, I think it's really good as for what you're getting. They don't overcharge. The packaging for shipping is really simple, so they don't charge you much extra for that. And this build, it wasn't too hard so far, so I'm gonna let you know what I think in a couple weeks whenever we're done with the 2-week review. And keep in mind there will be a dyno day video coming soon. Billy Gruhl with Titan Motorsports is hosting another dyno day, so I'm just gonna wait till then to dyno the car for the header video that will be coming up. So if you guys like the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below on something you'd like to see in the future. Don't forget to hit that notifications icon as well. It'll let you know when the videos are coming out. They're a little far and few between right now, but I'm kind of dealing with some medical stuff with the Army. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Have a good one.